Hi everybody, Steven here. In this video, we're going to take a look at how I upgrade my VCF9 environment to VCF9.0.1. More importantly, we're going to take a look at the management components on how I update that. So you want to stick around for it. See you in a bit. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. So in this video, we're going to take a look at my environment, my VCF 9.0 environment, and we're going to look at how we upgrade it to VCF 9.0.1. That patch is about a week old. It's October 7th right now, at time of recording. So I'll show you actually how I do the upgrade. Now, I'm going to run into a problem, especially when it comes to the core components. And I'm hoping you folks out there may be able to help me out. But right now, we'll walk through the process, at least doing the fleet management components as well. Now, before we begin, I'd like to just say thank you very much for those of you that subscribe and support the channel. Really, really appreciate it. 10 thumbs up to you folks. And for those of you that haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, I know there's a lot of people that still watch the channel but haven't subscribed. Please do your part in supporting the channel. It's very simple. Click that subscribe button. Other ways to support the channel, you subscribe, liking, sharing, and leaving comments also helps out. I also have super thanks enabled, but you know what? That's totally up to you. So why don't we get started? Okay, everybody, why don't we get going here? Let me log into my VCF operations, and I'll log in as admin. Can't type today. So as I mentioned, we're going to do the VCF, the management components here, not really the core components. So let's go to fleet management. We'll go into life cycle, and then right now I got my VCF management selected. You see the different components here. I have operations and automation installed. I have logs, operations for logs installed. I don't have network or identity broker set up, so I don't really need it. If I go to components here, you'll see them at 9.0.0. Great. You'll notice up here it's saying, hey, there's a new version of fleet management. That used to be called Lifecycle Manager, right? So let's go into my depot settings, and you'll see that I have an offline depot already set up. If you have an online depot set up, great, it does all this for you. I'll probably do a separate video covering how I set this up. If you've seen my first video on me setting up my offline depot, it's pretty much exactly the same thing, except for I just used the newer 9.0.1 components. But I'll do a separate video just to be complete on that. All right, so what do I need to do first? I need to go to binary management, and you'll see over here there's 9.0. It's found it on my repository. I need to download these things, right? So let's go into patch binaries, and you'll see there's automation, identity border, and fleet management. I'm going to do fleet management first. So now you probably want to download these all in one shot. Whoops, let's stop for a second there. I was doing a bit of playing around and I noticed something, so I just want to add something. I said you'd probably download them all at that one shot. No, you don't want to. Let me just show you my desktop. I actually did this and it did not work out. So notice over here it came up VROPS. Again, this was just another time I noticed this. It failed, and it's trying to download my upgrade for VCF Ops. And it came up and says it failed. And if you click on this, it gives you this error. Okay, great. And then it comes up with this pretty much useless type of error message for me, right? You need to make sure you've updated your fleet management. That's the lifecycle measure. Make sure you download that first, update that to the latest and greatest, then you're able to download these. If you try to download this in one shot, I noticed it failed on my VCF Ops, okay? Automation, it worked. So I guess the rule of thumb is do your fleet management first, download the fleet management, update it, then go get the rest of the files, okay? Just wanted to add that one in there. So again, there's that error. I know there's something in the communities on it. That's it. Notice one here is 24 gigs in size. It's going to take a little while to download, right? I'm just going to download this one here, and I'm going to say download right now, and then it basically creates a task here for me, right? I'm not going to sit here and make you folks watch this. I can click here to check the status of it, and it just brings me into the tasks. It's in progress downloading, and whoo-hoo, it's doing its thing. This shouldn't take too long at all, but I'll pause the recording. We'll come back when it's done. Okay, so it finished. It took a few minutes here to download. If I click on binaries, if I click on patch binaries here, and from there I can see fleet management. It is downloaded, and it's 9.0.1. I'm going to go into settings here. So I'm going to go into system patches, and you'll see current patch not applied. Let's say new patch over here, and let's see. Come on, there we go. It came up and it found that, right? And it says it's a bug fix. Great, right? I'm going to go next. It gives me a little summary. It says it's advisable to take a snapshot before we do the install. Actually, let's cancel that. Let's go right back to the very beginning there, and I can click on this learn more, and then I can say create a snapshot if I want. So why don't we do that? Let's click on check for upgrades. Yeah, okay, it's not going to find anything. And this is the confusing part. Is it an upgrade or is it a patch? You'll see that a little bit more as I go through this, okay? So I'm going to click on create snapshot. And again, I pick my vCenter server. I'll use my vCenter credentials. Do I already have them there? Do I? Side A? Yeah. That should be it. And I'll go submit. And it's actually going to create a snapshot for me, right? Let's go into tasks here. And we see that's actually in progress. So it's taking a snapshot of that appliance for me. Good idea also to do backups. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but you'll notice it's not asking me to do that, which kind of, again, a little strange. Always make sure you do backups. Take a snapshot's not a backup, by the way, folks, right? Make sure you do a backup, and the snapshot's like a safety net just in case something goes south. Great. All right, so all that's done. Let me go back into settings here. Let's go back into system patches. Let's go back to new patch, and I had canceled this one. All right, so we'll select that. We'll go next. And it gives me a little summary, and I'll go install. And at that point, you see stage one. It looks pretty short, doesn't it? All right, so we'll just let this run for a few seconds and see what happens, okay? And again, I'm not going to make you sit there and wait for that whole thing. I'll probably pause my recording. You'll notice it says it's installed. Great, that didn't take too long. You see it says 14 seconds, right? Let's look at tasks here. Oh, successful, 27 seconds. All right, so it looks good. Let's go back to tasks here. And looks like install patch for VCF is done. That looked pretty easy. Let me just go to overview here. Give it a few seconds. Because I've seen some situations where it comes up and says that this is not available at this moment. All right. Let's go to overview here. All right. All right. Let's go back into here. Oh, there we go. I wanted to show you VCF operations fleet management is not ready. So this is the kind of the danger you have just sitting there watching this, right? And I am recording good. And I've noticed before this could take about 10 minutes because I think it's restarting everything, okay? It doesn't really tell you anything. This is kind of the scary part, okay? So I'm just going to let this run. I'm going to come back in about 10 minutes and see what happens, okay? So see you back in a bit. Okay, everybody, exactly 10 minutes had passed. I set a timer. It's probably faster than that. Maybe it was 5 minutes. I don't know. I generally don't like to sit there and watch stuff because you start panicking maybe. So a lot of times it's good just to walk away, come back and see what's happening. So it's back up and running. If I go into my tasks, you'll see, oh, it talks about import and certificate, the updating, okay, license and whatnot. Anyways, let's go into settings here. See under system details, VCF operations fleet management is now 9.0.10 in the build and all that one, okay? And the patch version. So that was a patch. Let's go back to my let's go back to binary management. Now what I want to do is I want to do my operations. So I did fleet management. I'm going to do operations. Then I've got my network log. Sorry, I have my log. I was about to say log insight. VCF for logs. I'll do that as well. Oh, sorry. I'll do my operations. I'll do my automations. Then I'll do my logs. Okay. I'll kind of do it in that order. I kind of wished it came back and explain that order to me. Right. This is just an order that I'm doing. Obviously, the first one kind of made sense because, like I said, there's a new version available. Now, in order for me to do this, I need to download all these things, right? So, so let's take a look here. you'll see VCF operations. Now let's go to patch binaries. This is interesting. VCF operations 901. Notice it's, you know, upgrade binary. All right, let's go to patch binaries. Do we see anything there for patch binaries? I know sometimes it takes a little bit of time for this thing to spin around. Give it a few seconds. Okay, so we see patch binaries. You see there's automation there. It's not downloaded. I'm going to hit, sorry, that's automation, not operations, right? So we see we have automation. There's a patch. Fleet management is a patch. This is not downloaded, but look at the size. It's 24 gig. I'm going to download it, but actually, you know, let me do my upgrade binaries first. Let's go to operations. Ideally, it's probably best to download it all and get it over with. I'm just kind of doing this in bits and pieces type of thing, because I know that 24 gigs is going to take a little while. Here's operations 9.0. Okay, it's about 5 gig in size. I'm going to start it. Notice over here too, there's a upgrade as well for automation. You know, I'm going to click on both and say download. This is going to take a while, and there's also for logs too. So let's click on all that stuff, right? So those are the things I'm going to patch or update or whatever they're called, right? So let me click on download. I'm not going to make you watch this. This is going to take a while because that automation is 24 gigs. It's probably going to take in a vicinity of about 45 minutes, even in my lab environment, okay? So I'm going to pause the recording. We'll come back and we'll continue on. So actually, let's wait for it to start downloading. And hey, by the way, if you, oh, sorry, right here, check the status, click here. So, and by the way, hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, right? So, so upgrade bundle, great, okay. Oh, this one failed. So this is, well, we'll let it go through and see which one failed. Oh, maybe it was the log one that failed. I'll have to see that one. Okay, let's go back to task here and then, yeah. So we'll just let that one go through. So anyways, we'll come back to this and take it from there. See you in a bit. Hey everybody. Okay, so we're back and you can see that my VRealize automation there took 20 minutes to download, a lot faster than the last time I did it. My login site took 24 seconds and my ops took about 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so. You'll notice that my the VRealize login site is VCF logs, right, for logs. You'll notice it failed. It couldn't find the binaries. I forgot to put them on my offline depot, right? And don't worry, I'll show you how to do that. I'll do a separate video on building my offline depot. So, okay, so great. I'll go to overview here, and you know that's about it. Now, these components, let's go back to binary management. These came in under upgrade binaries, right? They weren't patch binaries. So that's a little kind of strange, all right? I'm just going to click on components. I'm not going to wait for that thing to do. You'll notice over here now, after I waited a while, it says new deployment, new deployment. Oh, sorry. It says that all the time. It's a new deployment, right? But in here, you'll see I got plan upgrade, all right? And it's active now. So I'll click on that. And then you see, okay, operations logs, it says the current version, and then it sees that there's the 9.0.1 there. So I'm gonna pick them all. Probably a good idea to do it one at a time, but you know what? Hey, I'm gonna go for it, right? And if you notice under my VCF version here, it still says 9.0. So is this an upgrade or a patch? Anyways, I'm gonna click create plan. And at that point, it's notice this one says pending patch, which is rather interesting. That's the automation one, but it came in under, anyways, like I said, a little confusing. Are they patches or whatever? Notice over here, great, upgrade, apply patch, all right? So I'm gonna do operations first. I'm gonna say upgrade, and it comes up after you upgrade to version 9, you must assign version 9 licenses to your environment. Yeah, okay, we already know that. I'll talk about licenses once I get access to it, right? So, okay, great. I'm just going to, here they're saying, is advisable before you do any kind of, it's advisable to perform an inventory sync for your components before starting this operation. I haven't really done anything. You know what, why not? We'll hit that sync inventory, we'll submit it, and then we'll kind of just wait, okay? Shouldn't take too long in my environment. Hopefully, this looks like there's 6 stages here. So a good idea to do that. And you see it's still on the stage 1 here. So I'm going to probably just pause this. We'll wait for this to finish. Hopefully it doesn't take long. And then we can continue on. Okay, so it's finished. You see, it took about 20 seconds on stage 1, 6, and 5, stage 2 and 3. Less than a second on 4 and 5. I don't know about that one. And less than a second on stage 6. I'm going to return back to tasks here, right? So that's actually complete. Let's go back to components. We're back to operations here. I'm going to go upgrade, and then I'm going to say proceed. And then basically it'll come up. It's asking us our current version. Okay, great. Sorry, the version that we're going to be going to. And this one here, generate content validation report, right? This stands for ARIA Pre-Upgrade Assessment Tool, APULAT, whatever. I'm going to say run assessment. Okay, so this is an assessment part here. Okay, so ARIA, I don't have it memorized. ARIA Pre-Upgrade Assessment Tool. That's what that APULAT is, right? You'll go do a snapshot, it'll do a pre-check, and then our upgrade summary. So it's running here. Notice the next button is still actually active, right? So hey, why not? I'm going to hit next on it. Do I want to take a snapshot? Probably a good idea to take a snapshot prior to initializing the upgrade. Retain component snapshot taken. Do you want to keep that around, so to speak? Again, these are vSphere snapshots. You're going to want to get rid of them after the fact. So I'll say, yeah, go ahead, take the snapshot. Pre-check, so I'll run the pre-checks here. It's amazing that it let me go past this other section here. But I guess I can do all this APULAT, this assessment tool in the background, and I guess create snapshots all in the background. And then we'll just wait and see what happens here. Oh, and they kicked me out. Interesting. I think it did that to me the last time too. So pre-checks, still going through. So here's all the stuff it's kind of checking. So I'll just let that run for a bit. I'll probably pause the recording so we don't have to sit here and watch this thing for 10 minutes, right? See you in a bit. It's been a few minutes already. It would be kind of nice if I knew at what stage this was going on here. Right now it says this is all the stuff I'm going to do, but where are we in this process, right? Anyways, so I'll pause. We'll come back again when it's done. It's only been a few minutes. Okay, so that whole process took about 10 minutes. And again, looks like everything, all validations passed. Everything if there was a problem, I could run a recheck. But I'm going to click on next. And then at that point, it says there is already in progress request in the environment. Wait for the request to complete. That could be that APULAT, whatever that is. Yeah, it's still running. So maybe I was a little premature on that, so I'll have to just wait. Yeah. It's kind of interesting it let me go next. You know what I mean? Like, technically, it should have probably stopped. Let me go back to tasks here. Pending action, VCF automation, operations, and in progress. What's this one here? Stage 1. So it looks like it's probably that APULAT that's still running here, right? And, oops, I wanted to go back to tasks here. Pending action, that must be the one that's waiting for me to hit next. There we go, right? So let's go back to task. Let's see the in progress one. It's been running for 6 minutes. Sorry, let's go back here. Actually, I didn't have to do that. It's been running for, actually, I did have to do that. It's been running for 6 minutes. So we'll have to let this run and see what happens. Surprised it let me click next. But anyways, I'll pause this and then we'll come back and see how long that took. Okay, we can see that, just want to make sure it's recording. We could see that it's completed. It says it took 296 milliseconds, a third of a second. I don't know about that one. Anyhow, let's go back to tasks, turn to task, and pending action, and let's hit next and see what happens now. I had walked away for a while. I had dinner. So, okay, hey, great. It looks like it's going to go to 9.1, take snapshots, true. Auto reverse is false, okay. And retain component snapshot is false. Don't recall seeing that part there. Anyways, let's hit submit, and I'm sure it's going to kick off a new task. There we go. We got 10 stages here. This will probably take a little while to go through. I'm not sure exactly how long, but I guess we'll find out at the end of this. So like I said, instead of me recording this whole thing, I'm just going to pause the recording. We'll come back when it's done and take it from there. So we'll see y'all in a bit. So that took about 45 minutes to do, right? Not sure how accurate some of these times are over here, to be honest with you. But anyways, let's go. So that completed. Let's go back to task here. You can see that it completed. It took about 45 minutes and 0 seconds to do. Honestly, it's the next day for me. I just let the thing run. Anyways, let's go to components here, and we'll see we are at operations is 901. Great. We got logs to do and automation to do. I'm going to do it in this order here. Logs is smaller, so it may go by faster. Notice it says pending upgrade, so we'll say upgrade. And there's something I got to show you about automation. There's something a little different there, so you want to stick around for that. Let me go to upgrade here. Again, before you proceed, check that you're entitled to version 9. Again, it talks about licensing over here. Here it tells me to trigger an inventory sync. I'm going to skip that step in production. Probably a good idea to do that. In fact, I would definitely do it in a production environment just to make sure everything's all synced up. But I actually haven't done anything. So I'm going to click on proceed. And again, we just go through the screen, select your version, snapshot, pre-checks, and upgrade. So very kind of similar here. So it goes next. And I thought this thing said patch, not upgrade. A little confusing there, isn't it, right? So, okay, we'll take a snapshot. That's fine. Again, we'll opt not to retain the retain component snapshot, opt not to retain it, sorry. And let's click on pre-check. If you wanted to keep that around just to be on the safe side, it's probably a good idea. I'm going to run a pre-check so that that snapshot, retaining the snapshot, basically means it's going to delete it once it's done. But how do you know everything's okay? So keeping the snapshot around might be a good idea, just for a little while. You don't want to keep it for eternity, right? Just to make sure everything's functioning and working. And if something's not, you can always revert back to it, okay? It's probably a good idea to retain it. In my lab environment, I don't really care. We're going through the validation right now. I don't know how long this is going to take. This is the first time I'm doing this. So we'll just let this run, and then I'll pause the recording, and we'll come back and see how long that took, all right? So we're back. That took about 2 minutes or so. Notice I got a warning here. So I'm just going to open this up. Warnings are okay. Looks like it says check if TLS version 1 and 1.1 is enabled. And it looks like it's disabled, right? View recommendation. It says upgrade of older versions logs may fail if version 1 or version 1.1 is disabled. Enable it if upgrade fails and retry. Okay. So I'm going to leave that alone. May as well use the latest version of TLS, right? More secure. I'm going to go next. I'm going to leave it alone. If it fails, we'll go back in and enable it. And let's see what happens here. And then again, actually, let's go. Yeah. So again, we'll hit submit here, and we'll do the patch or upgrade or whatever it is, right? And we'll let this thing run for a bit. Again, we got about 8 stages here. I don't know how long this is going to take. It's not that big, so it shouldn't technically take that long. Like I said, I'm not going to record this part of it. We'll come back and see how long it takes at the end. So I'm going to stop my recording. And again, I'm going to say as usual, hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider supporting the channel. Without subscribers, there's no content developers, right? So without you folks, there's none of me guys, right? So hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're back. That took about 15 minutes to process. If I go to my components over here, you'll see that operations for log now is compliant. Great. Now the next thing we got to do is automation. And I noticed a couple quirks here. First of all, I just want to point out 2 things. Let's go apply patch. And first thing, I confirm the secure FTP configuration has been done. You need to have your secure FTP set up. All right, or else this will fail. So I'll show you where to set that up. Also notice patch available for nothing. There's nothing there. Hey, didn't I download that? Let's cancel this. Let's look at my settings actually. First of all, for secure FTP. So I'm under settings here. Let's go to secure FTP. You have to make sure you've got this set up. Okay. So fleet management settings, secure FTP, all this has to be set up and running. I'll probably do a separate video on it. If not, it will fail, okay? Believe me, I tried it, all right? The other thing I noticed as well, let's go to components. Actually, sorry, let's go to binary management. Let's go to upgrade binaries. We'll let this spin around a little bit. I can swear we downloaded that, right? Wasn't there a upgrade binary for automation 9.0.1? And there it is right there. And it's downloaded. Why isn't it? It's not a patch. And this is kind of weird. I see it here under upgrade, but when we go into patches, we also see it in patches. So I guess it's considered a patch. So I should have downloaded that. Now you'll see, come on, it's about 24 gigs in size. So I'm going to do this, and it'll probably take about 20 minutes. So we'll have to come back. Come on, just wait for this spinny thing to finish, and then we can kind of get started here. There we go. So fleet management, we already downloaded that. We did that. Automation, again, not downloaded, right? It's 901. It's a patch 24. Okay, let's get her going. So let's start downloading it, and see you back in about 15, 20 minutes where we can actually go through this. Back again. So that took about 20 minutes, we see, right? So let's go to components now. Let's go to automation, pending patch. Let's say apply patch. And let's see if that cooperates a bit more with us. There we go. That's better, right? So we'll select that. And again, notice the next button will not light up until you say I've confirmed my secure FTP settings. So you got to make sure you get that backup set up. I showed you that, or else this will fail, right? Because it's going to test that. Let's go next. Again, it's going to go be preview. It's going to go install. And it's a patch, so it's a lot easier than an upgrade, I guess, right? And just give this thing a few minutes to catch up. And there we go. Okay, so this is going through its thing. Not a whole lot of stuff that we can really look at here. So again, we're going to just let it run and see how long it takes. Then we'll come back and see where we are. All right, see you in a bit. Well, that didn't take too long. Took about 2 hours for that to complete, but it's done. If I go back to task here, you'll see it took about 2 hours. If I go to my components, you'll actually see it's all at 9.0.1. Great. So that's my management stuff. Now I didn't do the I didn't do VCF for networks. I didn't have that set up, but you can pretty much figure it out after what I just showed you. That's the management pieces. Now you got to do the core. The core pieces. The core of your VCF environment is the SDDC manager, ESX, vCenter, NSX. That's the core. So I'm going to go down in here into my VCF instance. There's my VCF domain. Now I'm going to go, that's my VCF. That's what I called it, my VCF domain. I don't got much imagination. I'm going to go to depot settings, and this is where I got to set up the depot for that. Remember, they're two separate entities. Today, down the road, I'm sure they'll bring them together. I have an offline depot, so I'm going to say setup. I'm going to type in my IP of my offline depot. I'm port 80. Username is VMware. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's VMware. Yeah. And I'm going to save. You might be wondering how I got port 80 to work. Interesting. Don't worry about that. I'll do a separate video on setting up the depot specifically for 9.0.1. Okay, so offline depot connection is active. Let's go to binary management. Very similar type of interface. You have upgrade binaries, right? I probably have to give it a bit to kind of sync up everything, right? You'll have your patch binaries and then install binaries. So I'm just going to give this a few minutes, and then we'll kind of see what happens. Actually, let's go to SDDC Manager updates. And, oh, look at that. SDDC Manager on the, it's on the latest version. We may have to just give it a little bit of time to sync up and see that there's a newer version. So I'm going to pause this. So that took about a minute or two. I'd say probably about 2 minutes for everything kind of sync up and stuff like that. If I go to the SDDC Manager update, right off the bat, it says there's an update here, which is great. So I'm going to say download. This is where I run into the problem, and I'm hoping somebody out there can help me out. So I'm going to click on download. It says your download's been queued. So great. I can cancel download if I want to, right? I will just leave it here. And I'll just let's go to task here, see if it goes. Yeah, so here's our download bundle here. So it's currently running. I don't want to cancel it. Hands or anything that we can see here? No, not really. Okay, so we just got to kind of wait. I can't remember how long this takes, but it'll come back and it'll spit back in there. Watch it work for me. I doubt it very much though, but it would be a pleasant surprise. I kind of wish it gave us the progress on the download. It's this much percentage of X gig, that type of thing, instead of a spinning wheel, so to speak, right? Let's go back into here, and again, so notice right there's the issue. Download failed because bundle not found. And it's looking for this VCF SDDC Manager Appliance Upgrade TAR. Okay. Now I can tell you I have access to all the other files as a VMUG Advantage member and being certified in VCF. That file doesn't exist with all the other 901 files. So I'm unable to proceed as normal. If I did have this, I would update the SDDC Manager. Think of it sort of like Lifecycle Manager. Then I would proceed to do a plan upgrade for the ESX host, the NSX, and vCenter, and it would look after all that for me. But I can't demo that, all right? So at this point, we got to basically stop, and that's where I was saying part 2. I'll do part 2 as soon as I can get this file. I know there's some Broadcom employees out there watching this, right? I'm not telling you to send that to me. I don't want you getting in trouble, right? But if you could contact the VCF team and say, hey guys, missing this file in the downloads for our customers, right? And no, I can't use the offline download tool, VCF download tool, because you need tokens for that, right? And we don't have tokens. So again, we need to, and let me just show this right off the bat where I'm talking about. So if I go into my Broadcom support, just bear with me a second. If I go into my Broadcom support, come on, where are you? Here we go. Let me sign in and then I'll show it to you what I'm talking about. So let's go into here. Give me a second. I know I'm not showing my screen right now. And boom. If I go into my downloads, and that's how I was able to do all the other stuff. If I go into Cloud Foundation, and I searched all through here, I didn't find anything, unless it's buried somewhere in there, right? If I go to Cloud Foundation version 9, 901, and then I've already downloaded all these directories and stuff, but this is where you see the VCF installer. That's the SDDC Manager. If I click on View Group, you'll see, watch it be there. That'd be great. You see the SDDC Manager Appliance, but I'm looking for that TAR file. See the metadata. This metadata is how I was able to do all this stuff, right? So we need this file, okay? But that's it. I'm going to wrap up this demo. Hopefully we can do a part 2. And if you've got any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below in the YouTube comment sections. Please do not send them to me on LinkedIn. I will not answer them there. I only answer them in YouTube comment section. Leave comments about if there's something you want to see me do. If I'm able to provide that, I will gladly do it. And that's it. You have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.